Shirley here with Sirius Talis Moon. This is Jupiter, our Mercury night. 21 degrees ascendant and midheaven, ruled by Mercury in 7 degrees Taurus. So, midheaven Gemini. The moon is releasing from the square to Saturn. First of all, when I see 21, let's see about the degree theory, because basically 20. Okay, let's take a look at that. 24 would be Pisces, 23 Aquarius, 22 Capricorn, and 21 is Sagittarius. So very Jupiterian, Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter squares Chiron and Aries, but trines applying to trine Saturn, and sextile Venus. Venus separating from the sextile. Now here's the thing. For you, the collective, a threshold has been crossed with you, in a way where, and it can be a cross-cultural thing, it can be, okay, people simply crossed a certain threshold that they're not used to that being a strong boundary. And they try even to send death threats. Okay, some like, you are gone, you are not staying, ta 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 ta. Now, for some of you, it may be that people try to keep you in a certain situation where it's not compatible. And for some, it means that they try to send death threats to you, and their ego got enmeshed. So this is basically where a threshold has been crossed, which means that you, the collective, are not on the frequency of these people. There's just something in you that said, I don't like that. That's not anything that yields to anything. And they can even be topic of addictions with those that are, or obsession, with those that try to get you to lower astral frequency. And this is type of energy where a threshold has been crossed with you, which means that anybody that tries to cross a boundary with you, the collective, particularly around sovereignty. Okay, these things have been coming up since Rahu just ingressed into Aries. Those that have been aiming for that type of thing, they're meeting different, and it's not, for you, the collective is on a worldly level. They're meeting different energies. Different people are moving away from any type of, because I tell you even why, because there is a cross-cultural, even if it's the same country, there's a cross-cultural in the sense that for you, the collective, how should I say that? Think about, for example, families where there was a patriarch. Now that patriarch may have married a woman when she was just a teenager. In that culture, they had to respect the father figure. Nobody could stand up to him. And if that, now, you could be a person meeting them at the workplace, as a landlord, as whatnot. And you don't, the way that you, the collective, show respect has to do with sovereignty. Your respect language is sovereignty. Respect me, I respect you. But not hierarchy. And that can be cross-cultural, where in some cultures they had their boxes for where they have compartmentalized ideas of people. And where you're coming from, the collective, is a place where none of those boxes are a match. You know, cats, when they see a box, they sit in the box. Think about the cat trying this box, that box, that box. None of them match. And those people from the other type of culture, okay, they don't know how to deal with you because all of their culture and tradition is based on fear tactic, gaslighting, patriarchy, diminishing, mockery. Whether it's secret society, whether it's different culture, whether even if it's the same country, even if it's the same origin. To some of you, you might even be a child in a family where you don't go with those archaic rules. Not because you're disrespectful, but because you're sovereign. There is megalithic amount, you see, for every trajectory that's happening in the world, there's megalithic amount of sovereignty. And each people, even with the same generation, different cultures, different circumstances, different life stories, can meet things from different perspectives. Trying to get the sovereign to lower astral frequency, not going to work. Even the demons protect them. Okay? And for example, one of the days I saw frequency that says, and it was looking like a woman or a young girl or whatnot, and there was a demon protecting her, and saying that demon is not going to let you go there. Now, there might be people wondering, why did that demon not protect me? What they don't know is how much you, the collective, did to set the boundary with something that is, how should I say that? Think about the child of, let's say, the patriarch, standing up to the patriarch, and that patriarch having a high rank position, and that child is not disrespectful, but is not respectful in hierarchical way, is respectful in sovereign way. And now I talked about the sadhana. And that frequency, whether you're man, woman, whatever gender, for you, the collective, you are just the type of person that respects on a level of sovereignty. Nobody that comes to violate your rights can ask for your respect. Nobody that comes to interact with you with fear tactics or that does things, whether in policy, whether in whatnot, that are violating of your sovereignty, whether it's housing, whether it's income, definitely energy, body, whatever, financial. And nobody can do that and still have your respect. Now, it's not that you're going to be disrespectful. It's just that you stand for your rights and who you are. And no fear tactics, fear mongering, rape threats, death threats. None of that is frequency that shows respect. And so these people that are doing those things, they walk around humiliated in their environments, because some of them still see it from perspective, I got humiliated by this person, I got humiliated by... They didn't get humiliated, they just disrespected, and they were held accountable for that disrespect. Now, some of them were very invested in trying to paint a name or a picture or, an image for you, the collective, as whether it's whatever the boxes that they have in their head that are not aligning with the sovereign human being. Definitely not woman being. And they walk around, and from their perspective, they walk around humiliated. Why is she not doing what I say? Why he doesn't do what I say? Why children don't listen to me? But I said, but she like this, but she like that. None of that. Respect, sovereignty, honor to one's sovereignty in spirit and in matter and in energy. Doing witchcraft to take life energy on people, to violate them, and then walk around like you are the boss, like you are the this, like you are the that, doesn't work for you, the collective. The people that try to do that, they end up like this puffed, I don't know, satirical character. Their mockery rituals against the collective end up with them walking humiliated. Because to begin, and for some of you, it's not the first time that it happens to them. Remember when I said channeling? There was a channeling that I don't know if it was loading, because somebody assembled many people and told them to bring the popcorn. And they were waiting for you, the collective, to act a certain way, to do a certain thing, whatnot. And they came back. They were, okay, the people had a good popcorn, but not over you, the collective, over that person that expected to predict your actions. And they keep trying it again, they keep trying it again, they keep trying it again. And it's like, no. It's not the same culture. Now, if the culture is, one person comes from cultures more sovereign, and one person comes from cultures more patriarchal, the sovereign. People are not people pleasing anymore, so the sovereign. And you can't have sovereignty without sexual sovereignty. And no excuse for that anymore. Old person, old man, cannot respect the sovereignty of a woman. He sees a woman alone, he thinks he can do whatever. He sees a woman married, he thinks he can do whatever. And if she says no, then to give a name, to give a that. This is tactics of I'm sorry. I don't even have a word to say. I better not even try to name that tactic. And this cross-cultural thing, particularly around all types of boundary. Think about the person going to, okay, think about the person coming from place, let's say, secular, okay? Not knowing thing about magic, witchcraft, nothing. Even astrology is like, okay, there is patterns and they recognize patterns. And then maybe they have, I don't know, a crystal, a kyanite, or whatnot. But not more than that. And then they arrive at the place and people are doing voodoo, hoodoo, targeting, psychic rape, ta 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 ta. This is scary. What is this barbaric? And so they try to see with the locals. Maybe the locals know what to do. And maybe they have more success, less success. And some other people that they know those type of energies, they begin to say, okay, this is what is happening. So the person listens very carefully, write notes, what to do, what is happening. And what happens is that they say, okay, new environment, I learn to stand in my power. But the way that you, the collective, stand in your power is the same value, sovereign. And those people, and it can be from the same country, it can be from the same, even bloodline. Okay, not the immediate family, for some maybe immediate family, but okay? I can give example. I grew up in a home. There was no evil eye, schmivel eye, nothing. My mother would say to a person, if they were acting weird, she would say, I wish for you exactly what you wish for me and more. If they wished well, is blessing. If not, their discoloration showed what person they was, what was in their heart. Now, here's the thing. Those other people, other cultures, other habits, costumes, whatever, they try to do all those fear tactics with you. And the boundaries that you set, and here's the point, you, the collective, came from 0 to 100 in the sense that you didn't even know that this was a thing, to, first of all, being fully aware, I'm not even supposed to be in a situation where I need to even say that this is a boundary. Whereas those people from those cultures, they have been projecting all kinds of thoughts from their fantasies for I don't know what. And they humiliate themselves trying to humiliate you, the collective. They mock themselves trying to do mockery on you, the collective. Particularly with these old people. And they want to be honored like they're the patriarch. The more they try to puff their ego, just because you're the person that you're not disrespectful at all, you're just not respectful in hierarchical way. You're respectful in person to person. Respect me, I respect you. But you are put in a situation where over nothing you had to set boundaries that no one, absolutely no one, man, woman, child, adult, ever should be in any remote situation where they even have to say that this is a boundary. And for those cultures, that's normal. And they try to bring you to their point of view, to their this, to their that. Never! Because they're not sovereign. They don't respect you, the collective sovereignty. You're not going to their point of view. And you're definitely not disrespectful for not going with human traffickers, child traffickers. Ritual satanic abuse over real estate. Not even real estate. A house. Not even a house. An apartment. Not even owned. You're not going to come to their point of view. And that should be obvious. Why? You see, Jupiter degree, belief, worldview, philosophy. But in Mercury sign. And this cultural clash is creating situations where those people try to summon all that they know against you, and from their point of view, they don't even know who you are, what you are. And from your point of view, you may even feel frustrated, not wondering why did I even get to this type of situation? What do these people want from me? I just try to live my life. And I tell you, the collective, like that is not going to continue. It's not good situation. Because you're not going to their side, to their point of view. And if they're going to harm you, collective, they're going down as the lowest of the low in the eyes of their own community. Cannot be that a person just tries to live their life and finds themselves in a megalithic battle over nothing, in society that won't let a person be, over nothing. Cast this person and this person and this voodoo and this hoodoo over nothing. From what? Money of classified projects against Googleplex people. Now this is why I say you're the collective, because there are Googleplex people targeted by those things. And it's our resources, it's our money, it's our housing, it's our opportunities to have a job, not a slavery, not a trafficking. Time to rest. If person been gone through that dumb fuckery, they're actually entitled to compensation for all their life not to work a single day. And no, you the collective are not coming to their side, see it from their point of view. Of what point of view? They try to enslave people? They try to subjugate people? There's no point of view. And doing that from the money, from the resources that are to the people in classified projects. Using fear tactics, this, that. What is that? Living in fear is not society. Those societies, they go mass graves upon mass graves upon mass graves upon mass graves upon mass graves. That's where they go. Apartheid, colonialism, democide, genocide, whatnot. Where a person cannot be in a society over nothing, targeted for the nothing that they have. So that God forbid they want to what? Live in a house? Working a job is not informant and not targeting people and not trafficking people? That's no, nobody can live like that. Nobody wants to live like that. And you see, for you, the collective, they understand you're not coming to their point of view, to their side, to their, because as they live nothing of life. And all of those fear tactics, all of those puff, whatnot of nothing. Because in that is no life. And those that support them, they go down with them into this no life type of situation, because you, the collective, your light is not here to be fed upon. light is there when a person can be. When they attack a light, then if they're successful, is no light, no food, famine, world hunger, no energy, nothing to feed on. If not successful, now they feel, oh my God, their heart, the ego, the this, the that, they make it a mission over nothing. And those people that try to do all those that could call to feed on those energies, to this, to that, you know what? They end up being obligated to do what you, the collective, came here to do. They did not like a feminist, they will have to have a world abundant of feminists. They did not like a people not going on to the lower astral, they will have a world, but only the frequency is not the lower astral. They did not like people and not allowing them to be, I'm sorry, energy vampire. They will have a world in which they can feed on no energy. They did not let a person be. They will have a world in which the right to be will be so protected. You know, like in France, if the bus ticket goes up a cent, since the French Revolution, everybody's in the street, they won't be silenced. Like that. No more targeting individuals, witchcraft, this, that, all of that in the plague, like the Spanish flu. Because they put person in a situation where they take the living out of the living. But those of them that set a boundary, and we have Googleplex people doing that because we're moving away from people pleasing. Set a boundary, fierce boundaries to those that try to tap into the energy, to try to do all of these things. Not sending double messages. Not threatening to kill someone if they don't want to be a part of trafficking ring. This chronic helplessness that people were put into has an expiration date. And in that expiration date, all the new things that they were seeking to build will dissolve in an unexpected way. All the supposed money that they were seeking to launder will lose its value in one day. because they were feeding off of life energy of people. They were meant to do something that they try to take and give it frequencies that very simply put have no place in the world. What happened in the Spanish flu? All the aristocracy died. With whom they consolidate the wealth by torturing children. And then they try to feed on you, the collective, while not even providing you with the space to be, to rest, to rejuvenate, to, for example, let's say people look at the face of a glowing, shiny man or woman, okay? That can be like nice or listen to or what they have to say, and that can be inspirational. If that person is shining, they come, they listen, they have an inspiration. Then if that person is resting, is feeling good, is this, is that, then they are the inspiration. But no, they try to take the life out of the living and then complain. Why he wouldn't do as we say? Why she wouldn't do as we say? It does not work into. They're not doing what I want them to. Why are they're doing what they're doing? You, the collective, you're doing what you are doing. You're doing you. And then all of their perceptions that are to you, the collective, is such a cultural clash where I better not even try to describe that. Man disrespects a woman, a man. To rape children is class. To have children tortured, this is high society. I had a colleague astrologer. She said, I don't know why they call these people elite. And the money is coming from somewhere. It's coming from those classified projects that are funded, MK Ultra, MK Often. They make it look like, oh, it's that person that is coming from that country, coming from the, who gave him funding, who gave him money, who gave him ability to do that without stopping what they do. Later, when they deport that one, they put another one of the same nationality. Or when somebody said no, they try to scare them with another nationality. With the same funding. That is again supposed to be for our home, our infrastructure, a good life. I mean, a job that is a job, not an informant, not a slavery, not a trafficking. Not to send in double messages. And this is the thing with you, the collective. You are on the frequency that people can't communicate with you. And here's the thing, many of you have been the avoidant person. You said, okay, I will try to do a job where, I don't know, I do astrology reading, or I do something of my own skill, or or I live, I take time to heal myself. Okay, been avoiding all of this dumb fuckery. But even that, they didn't let you be. You have to learn about witchcraft while you're trying to heal from some other dumb fuckery. Targeted by what money? The money of classified projects. That's the money that was supposed to be for housing first. For you to not have to work for a while if you're healing. Paying people to make your life bad over nothing. And then trying to paint as if the individual or the civilian is the bad person. Now here for you, the collective, the thing is, it's not even about bravery or about courage or about, it's just that where those people go, there's nothing. And for life to be, you have to be in the way that you are, not in the way that people try to make you. And trying to exhaust you will only push to the point where the threshold has been crossed. And now Googleplex people speak truth to power, saying enough is enough. And here's the thing, the people that were trying to act normal, at the end of the day, it's our housing, it's our resources, it's our opportunities. And when we have Googleplex people pushed to these corners, then people begin to ask tougher and tougher questions, and then parliaments go on fire. People send people to target people, to bully people, with the money that was supposed to be the resource for the target individual to rest. Those dark occult things that were in Epstein Island, it's not staying in Epstein Island. What happened in Thailand is not staying in Thailand. Where people go to Thailand and they were with girls and whatnot, is not staying there. Trying to traffic more and more people. What? All the single women in the world are a whore for saying no to rape? How many single women are on planet Earth? And how will she date anyone if there is no person that is actually respecting sovereignty? So all the national debts of countries like United States went to, and what is target individuals? To try to traffic, to enslave, to murder, to sacrifice we the people worldwide. Ignoring the problem, ignoring the problem, ignoring the problem, funneling more and more resources to try to enslave, to try to subjugate, to try to I don't know what. Academic people cannot have an income because they want them to partake in trafficking. Cannot find apartment because they want us to partake in trafficking rings. Then what about people that weren't fortunate to have a degree? What about people that came from another country and don't speak the language? Nobody wants to live in a global surveillance state. And now people are stressed. Why people are stressed? Because names are coming out. Because those children that were raped in '96, when they were children and so on, they're coming out. Why? Because they try to do surveillance, telling all the people that they're going to save the children by looking and censoring what can people say to each other on WhatsApp. Of course they are going to speak. Of course they're going to say, look at that parliament member, look at that parliament member, look at that business person. They raped so and so and so and so and so and so. Of course they're going to say that. Now everybody knew that. It's not like people couldn't predict that that would happen. When Patients are tortured at hospitals, physical hospitals or mental hospitals. What did they think would happen? Sacrificed from the hospital. Ritually sacrificed in some construction site. What do you think will happen to the medical team? People going missing. Lital Suson, TikToker, 14 years old. In Israel, high-tech nation, surveillance in Silicon Valley, developed surveillance cameras at every corner of the city. Vanished from the face of the earth after she was walking in the street, in the neighborhood, talking with her mother on the phone, then vanished from the face of the earth? We don't know where is she? "14 years old. No, people really, they think they're going to have this blockade on freedom of speech to save the children, and nobody will say the name of the people that raped them at 8 years old. They really think it's going to go smoothly? People have a trafficking ring with dark occult in academia. Buy the money of these classified projects. They're supposed to go to research, not to target people to be trafficked, tortured, murdered, homeless, but to save life, to create peace, not on the wealth consolidation of a child trafficked to that and child trafficked to that and then sign agreement. People don't want to be in those live in fear, surveillance state, don't talk, don't that. It leads to nothing. All the countries that did that, fall after fall after fall after fall after fall after fall. All countries, all regimes. Either they became more liberal, gave more rights, or they had downfall. Pompeii, Rome, the Mayans, the Aztecs. The communist regime. Now there's even problems with Russia. The Soviet allies or the Commie allies a quasi-allies, the quavering. And here, where the people, most of the people would live their lives and the people, let's say if they survived something, they would say, okay, I'm surviving, like Anneke Lucas. But then comes a law says, we'll surveil the messages, censor the messages that people write to one another to save the children. What did they think will happen? Saturn, when it enters Aries, it enters 8th house of NATO. That's the funding that NATO receives. That's supposed to be the 5%. Do you really think that that is going to hold waters when the classified projects are targeting individuals? There will not even be soldiers. They're so busy being targeted individuals that, okay? Putting civilians under pressure or under trauma only lead to more pressure, first on the leaders, then on the families that are the lobbyers. Not only by the people, by the leaders. Because all these leaders that are on Epstein list, all this, all this, that, they were tortured since children, most of them, some even cloned. Now they're just disposables, just when they're supposed to cash in on their retirement. And trying to spend all that money to try to pressure the people to give up their rights, just at the time where people are moving away from people pleasing. Look at the sun ingressing to 19 degrees.